Hello guys, TKN here, back to round up some Falcom news. So due to my Hajimari hiatus, let's go over some of the notable announcements from September to get us up to speed. At the end of August, NIS America came out with an official release date for the PlayStation 4 version of VIII, stating that it is scheduled for February 2nd, 2021. And they followed this up with a blanket 2021 release for Switch and PC, so this follows the trend that NIS America normally take, release on PlayStation 4 first and bring out the other platforms a few more months down the line. This was given in tandem with a release trailer which of course showcased some of the characters we're going to be joining on Adol's latest adventure. In typical fashion, they also held a reversible cover contest a la Cold Steel 3 and 4 which ended on September the 18th, though I wasn't able to see what the winner was, but if I had to choose, I'd go for number 3. Moving on to Trails now, and the series has been getting involved in some more collabs. This time it was between Trails and the Neptunia series, on mobile platforms. The game itself is called Neptunia Mega Miracle Force. That name though. Which appears to have its roots in turn-based strategy. And I dare say there are fans of the Neptunia series who also like Trails, so there you go. It appears they were even incorporating some unique quests for certain Trails characters for this event, one in particular being Tio's Magical Trial released on the 1st of October. This game's probably not as popular as the likes of Langrisser Mobile, but hey, collaborations are always good and worth mentioning. Now back to the main series. I will mention a little bit on Hajimari no Kiseki here, but it's not going to be tied to the game's content, so no worries on the spoiler front. In its release week, that being August 27th onward, Hajimari was the highest selling new title with nearly 84,000 units sold as reported by Famitsu, pipping the likes of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles and Ring Fit to pole position. For reference, following its original Japanese release, Cold Steel 4 sold a little more than Hajimari did in its opening week with just over 85,000 units sold. Come the beginning of September though, that figure for Hajimari rose to 96,000. And that seems to have contributed quite favourably to Falcom's overall numbers as they achieved a notable milestone come the end of the month, stating the Trail series as a whole has sold over 5 million units worldwide as of the 29th of September, which is brilliant to hear. It appears that the series is continually growing in popularity as the narrative progresses, and milestone achievements like this are always a nice thing to hear about. And since we're talking about sales relating to Falcom, we're going to jump forward in time here for the sake of pacing. All of this information comes courtesy of Endless History. We saw back in May that when Falcom released their half-yearly financial report, figures were strong across the board as they exceeded the conservative estimates placed by themselves, stimulated strongly by digital sales of the likes of VIII and Tokyo Xanadu EX+. There's a good chance that this trend has continued to the second half of the year. In short, Falcom have upped their forecasts on all income classes, stating an estimated increase in actual sales and operating profits by significant margins, which is great news considering what has been happening this year. This has likely been buoyed by the multi-platform sales of Cold Steel 3 in the West, the strong sales of Hajimari no Kiseki in Asian markets, and also the release of Ao and Zero no Kiseki Kai in Asia. Since Falcom's financial year runs from the 1st of October to the 30th of September, however, these figures won't include the Western release of Cold Steel 4. Of some note, however, is that these figures are also noting finalization of localization contracts which may interest some people, as the likes of VIII were already sorted way back before June. So these new licenses could be a point of interest, though I personally believe they're the contracts relating to Asian localizer Clouded Leopard Entertainment regarding the Switch releases of Crossbell and the Cold Steel Quartet. You could probably include the Steam releases of Cold Steel into that equation too. Bear in mind though that these are just forecasts, but there's a good chance that the actual figures may be announced during the shareholder meeting, of which Famitsu very recently revealed that there will be a Falcom online event on the 20th of December, and they got really creative with the name, calling it Falcom Day. How apt. Now I'd like to believe that this is the form by which the shareholder meeting will be taking on this year, so it might even be in this event, or it might be a week before, we don't really know. But there is a chance that the new Falcom title for 2021 will be announced here, of which I'm quietly optimistic of the new Trails arc being revealed to us. Now moving on to October, and it's been a busy month, I'm sure many of you guys will know why. First, let's go over some Falcom merch that is hitting the rounds. The official Falcom calendar for 2021 went up on the 8th of October for pre-order, and Falcom decided to split it into two lots, a girls and a boys calendar featuring some of the latest images of characters from the series, kind of like a celebration of the Trails cast. They followed this up very recently with some sneak peeks of what fans can expect should they pre-order it. Swanky? The calendar will be B3 sized, which is fairly sizable, a bit smaller than A2 for reference, but hopefully you have some wall space freed up for the day, and if you pre-order directly from the Falcom store, you will get a metallic poster as well as some secret art, which is similar to what they did with the Hajimari limited edition. But that wasn't all, because on the 17th of October, the official OST of Hajimari no Kiseki also went up for pre-order, which will be released in mid-December. For those again who are quick to the grid, you will get yourself a first print limited package of the OST, and if you're extremely lucky, you will also get a signed memento from one of 3 voice actors. I won't be saying the names of the characters who are voiced because there are of course many people attempting to avoid spoilers for the game, but I will envy the people who managed to get these. I mean, come on, we need some luck in this odd year we're having. Now, since Falcom aren't shipping internationally, fans in the West will have to use a proxy site, of which I strongly recommend Treasure Japan. They're very easy to use, you simply take the URL, paste it to the order form, and they will do the rest. It's a bit more expensive because of course you are incurring the full price of the product plus shipping and the 10% commission. But in terms of quality of service, I have nothing bad to say about them after using their website for my Hajimari Platinum Meister Edition and assorted goodies. A bit closer to home now, well, at least for me personally, since I am a UK resident, the guys over at Pinbox have sent out their pre-orders of the Trails themed pins that they have held in production since August, with many people, including myself, receiving said items. I can vouch for the quality of these pins, a fantastic item to have in your collection should you have the extra dosh on hand. And if you can't get enough of them, they've got a few more on the release schedule for November, including a TO pin for you stands that I know exist. I feel I should also mention East Origin here because Falcom. The European limited edition of the Switch version was shipped out in mid-October to those who placed their pre-orders courtesy of Real Strictly Ltd, who are the European partner store of choice for this re-release. As for the limited run games version for North America, that is currently still in production as of the time of recording, and no further update has been received as of yet. And finally, I personally believe I've saved the best till last year, at least in terms of merchandise. Kotobukiya at the start of October, who are a manufacturer of licensed collectibles, announced that they would be creating figures of both Reen and Altina, with no follow-up information released as of yet, but we can expect to hear some more updates in the near future. Now this is really cool. Even though it was announced that Fina from East Origin will be getting a figure in mid-2021, we don't really have much in the way of figures in the Trails series. We have a few Nendoroids for some characters, I believe there is also an Elisa figure hanging around the Orbal Net somewhere, and there's also a garage kit of Risha based on her CS2 sprite art, which I actually just recently received myself. But other than that, the choices are quite bare, so to have these potentially coming out very soon is awesome. I just hope that they're not limited to select stores. Please, 2020 has already sucked. Don't do it, Japan. Anyway, moving on to the games. Korea are going to be receiving the full hexalogy of Cold Steel and Crossbell on Switch, courtesy of Clouded Leopard, so Cold Steel 1-4 and the Kai versions of Zero and Ao no Kiseki Kai are getting some mighty good treatment over in the wider Asia areas, but sorry guys, nothing for us. However, it's not all doom and gloom because the Geofront team continue to make excellent progress on Ao no Kiseki, recently announcing that they are at 40% on their second editing pass. So hopefully we'll have something to chew on come the turn of the year. And now the big one. Of course, if you're a part of the Trails fandom and you haven't been living under Cassius Bright's bow staff, you will know that Cold Steel 4 released for the PlayStation 4 on October 27th. And I know a lot of fans were looking forward to its release. Oh boy. So first of all, the reviews came out, and some were positive and some were mixed. That's the beauty of opinion. Notably, some of these reviews pointed out some noticeable translation and audio issues, however, that was just the start. It's not been a great release for the game, let's put it that way. So initially, the limited editions were noted as delayed for both Europe and North America due to supplier trouble, which is understandable, we're not exactly dealing with normal conditions at the moment, but that statement was soon revoked. For North America, Europe actually got bumped back even further. But no worries, said some fans, I'll just get the digital version. And what could possibly go wrong? Unfortunately, this version also had issues. It wouldn't download come release day, and some people found that they had to buy it again so it would download. The DLC bundles included with the Digital Deluxe Edition also had problems, with some fans managing to find loopholes to download the costume DLC that they had indeed paid for, while others couldn't find said DLC on the PlayStation Store as if it had phased out of existence. Now, to NIS America's credit, they did keep fans mostly up to date on the issues, providing periodic tweets stating they were working with Sony to sort the issue out, and over 24 hours later, those who pre-ordered their digital copies were able to get started. Thank Adios. And I am glad that many people are now able to experience this excellent game, as I'm aware that many fans have booked their well-earned vacation to play the latest release. A good use of your holiday, might I add. Here's hoping that when Ys 9 releases, we won't be getting similar problems. And that is it, guys. We've rounded up our news for September and October. It's been a pretty busy couple of months. But now we've got to get our hype trousers laundered and ironed because the shareholder meeting is on the horizon. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more Trails and JRPG content, and I'll see you later. Peace.